Okay. All right. I guess we're live. At least I think we are. So yeah, William just got in.
We're live.
Okay, we are live. Okay, that's better. Well, I can't see anything, son.
I mean, do you need to?
Yeah, it'd be nice. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, as long
It's
as
just
you can,
us.
as long as you can see it.
It's just us.
Oh wow, 74 already in here, y'all. So yeah. I guess something like this builds a little buzz. All right. Well, I won't belabor the point because we're farmers, so we still got a lot of work to do. So we'll just wait a little bit longer. Maybe more want to come in here.
But yeah, let's give them a few minutes so they don't miss it and then have to back up and stuff like that.
Yeah, or ask us after they've already found it out. What's up? Hacks for the Homesteader, my friend Darren.
He said he has quite a few videos he's going to drop today.
Yeah.
And then a special something for tomorrow's video.
Yeah, folks, y'all want to check that out and you want to subscribe because I'm telling you what, he was at that last conference we did in Camden, Tennessee, the Self-Reliance Festival, along with Grumpy Acres. And folks, I'm telling you, one of the sharpest guys I know, if not the sharpest, especially when it comes to anything you think you can't figure out. I guarantee he knows how. So we're looking forward to seeing him. And also, I'm going to be interviewing him and Grumpy Acres this Sunday, along with one other homesteader. We're going to have something of a round table, and you're going to learn a lot of cool stuff. All right, we got 100 in here now. Looks like, hey, y'all do us a favor so other people hear this. Hit that thumbs up if you don't mind. It tells whatever the algorithms are that we're live, so it gets more people on here. So, should I go ahead?
Yeah, I mean, we can answer a couple of questions while we're waiting on people if you want to, or we can ask or answer questions.
Well, I'll go ahead and let me give a background while people are coming in, all right? Okay. So it looks like wow, that's really blowing up right now. So 157. Like I said, hit that thumbs up, y'all. It has nothing to do with us. I think you're going to be glad you tuned in, okay?
Well, here's one question. This one guy, meme or woman, wants to know if we can harness the heat of compost for greenhouses or anything else that might benefit from natural heat.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You can also do that to do your hot water in the house. There have been people that have done it in the past. Well, hopefully this winter we're going to get into that. Son, I'm just going to go ahead and just fire into it, all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I don't want anybody thinking we're doing a bait and switch on anybody. So thanks, everybody, for checking it out.
Oh, hold on. Somebody asked if we could get louder. They can't hear us over the kids. That might just be the kids.
The kids?
Yeah, somebody's commented, any way to get louder, full volume, but can't hear over the kids.
Huh.
How's everybody? Can everybody hear us? Is the volume good?
All right. Well, I'll just drive on, man. All right. So as many of you probably know, judging by the numbers here, you do. We did a little video a while back saying, hey, don't watch these things. Now, I've been come down like people think they're coming down on me like a ton of bricks. And got news for you. It ain't working. And you think if you think for a minute, like I said, there's a reason strategically why I put that last video out about homestead income and stuff like that. We have multiple streams of income, so I really don't care if I have a YouTube channel at the end of the day. There's other platforms that would love to have us. And if I anger some people in the process, then, about some of the things I've said, because people said that I've said controversial things in the past. And at the end of the day, I'm telling you exactly what I think. This isn't couching anything. I don't have to couch my words because I'm worried about keeping a YouTube channel or keeping subscribers. So with that said, let me tell you a quick story, then we're going to get right into it. Years ago when I was back in the Army, I remember going to the range and, hey, son, can you move that just a little bit? It's blinding me. Yeah. That thing's somehow reflecting. Thanks. Yeah. Years ago, I was at the range and went out there. I'm in the foxhole. You do it prone, you do it in the foxhole, all that good stuff. And I remember I was elated because I shot 40 out of 40, mean 40 targets, 40 hits. And man, I was so proud of myself. I remember getting up out of that. And I was pretty arrogant in those days. And got up out of that hole, went to the back, and there was this sergeant first class. And he's like shaking his head like, good shooting there, son. I'm like, thank you, Sergeant. Sorry about the noise, y'all. We got somebody on a crotch rocket way down there making all this racket.
No, it's not a crotch rocket. It's a souped up dirt bike.
Yeah, so why they don't put pipes on those things, I can't understand. Anyway, so proud of myself. He comes up and he's shaking his head and he says, "Man, that's some good shooting." I said, "Well, thank you, Sergeant." And then I'm walking away, arrogant, proud, happy. And then he says to me, "Hold on, one question there, Specialist." I said, "Yes, Sergeant." He says, "I noticed on that when you had them two targets pop up, it was a 300-meter and a 50-meter. And I noticed you shot at the 300-meter first. How come?" And I said, "Well, in a nutshell, I wanted to take my time, take careful aim, and I wanted to shoot that target because I knew the 50-meter I could shoot from the hip practically." And then he says to me, he says, "Huh, that'd be pretty good. You know, if you were a competition shooter, that might be a pretty good idea. But you're not. You're a soldier. Act like it. Shoot the higher threat." So I was, I was like, "Dude, I just shot 40 out of 40, man."
I just watched Sergeant York.
Yeah, I'm like, "Come on, man. I just blew it up." Well, I'll get to why that's all relevant here in a minute. Okay, after I put out that video, a number of people reached out to me. We had record numbers of trolls. I mean, like on a level that you can't even imagine. Up until that time, we almost never had trolls. I mean, never.
I didn't know people had that much free time, really.
Yeah, but we find out that either there's a lot of bots out there and there's a whole lot of trolls. So, hey, son, you mind getting him?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, y'all. Milkboy's deciding he's going to roll up on this conversation. We forgot to put him up. So William's going to put him up. Anyway, not to belabor this thing, I'll get right to it. So anyway, we got all these trolls coming out of the woodwork. And then I'm getting these emails. Now, I get a lot of emails. A lot of you folks email me, and I'm thankful for them. And a lot of you tell me, "Hey, man, this bone sauce is the shiznit." Some people tell me you had something bust in transit. But all of a sudden, I've never had a number of people reach out to me and say, "Hey, man, so-and-so is over here talking stuff about you." And I look at the date stamp on the email, and I'm like, "Huh, what are they, clairvoyant? Because this video just went out like an hour ago." Okay. And then I get another and another. And then all of a sudden, I'm seeing in the thread, all this is going on. And then some people direct me to some of these other YouTube channels, all of which, by the way, I wasn't even talking about. So what can you do with that information? I don't know. In fact, a couple of them I actually reached out to and told you, "Look, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't talking about you." If you actually watch the video and go back and watch it, you'll realize that the people I was talking about, I met them. So I haven't met any of you people that did videos denouncing what was said. So it wasn't you. So, I mean, and some of you people have done subsequent videos. So, I'll leave it there. But I will say, if some of you want to keep it up, you might want to think twice about starting a fight with a couple of people that have a really good command of comedy. So I'll leave that there. Now I'll move on to the next thing. So I told you in that last video that I was going to have names and I'm going to put them on blast and I'm going to give you a discount code. Well, go back to that story I just told you about being in the Army. Why am I aiming at the 300-meter target when there's other targets that are 50 meters away that pose a much greater threat, that are a much bigger problem? Because I ended up finding out that all these trolls ended up hitting all these others. There's a really cool YouTuber out there. I didn't get his permission to say so, but believe me, he's making a lot of waves out there and he has a lot of great information. You've heard me talk about him before, but I didn't get his permission to, for what I'm about to say. Well, anyway, he makes me aware of what's going on out there. And then a number of others made me aware. And then he started doing a little bit of examination. Come to find out, you got some of these trolls, and some of you are probably in this thread right now. Some of you trolls you're like that schoolyard bully, or not a bully. You're like that schoolyard instigator, where you got two of the toughest guys in school squaring off, bumping chests, the whole 9 yards. And you're like, "Hit him, man. Hit him, dude." And that's exactly what was going on. So we're going to redirect our steps. And we're going to make this a party with a purpose. You dig? So how are we going to do it, son?
So we have a list. You want to go ahead and read it?
Well, yeah, we got a list of, okay, go ahead and tell me.
Yeah, so we have a list of the trolls that we noticed were going back and forth from our channel to other people's channels, instigating stuff. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's not difficult to recognize the same name popping up in the comments of all these videos, instigating stuff. Or if we have a chain of comments, and they're responding to every single comment. You know, there's a noisy minority. So the first name,
lay it on.
JDL Mac. Second name, Tatum E.
Punk.
Third name, Tony Mitchell.
Troll punk.
Fourth name, Rebecca W.
Punk, punk, punk.
And here's something special about Rebecca W. is that my suspicion is that she's getting on her husband's account as well and commenting the same exact thing. She was commenting the same exact thing on the same exact comments. Also, their profile picture changed at the exact same time. But that husband's account name is Mike WV.
And you're a punk too.
And then lastly, WMD.
Punk, 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 punk. So what have we done? And why are we doing this? So instead of aiming at some of these other unscrupulous channels, am I apologizing to that for what I said? No. Profoundly, no. And, you know, a couple of years ago, I'd have preceded that by a couple of other words that I've since I'm not going to knock the mothballs off of. You dig? So here's what we've done. So instead of calling these others out, which ain't going to do any good anyway, why not make this a party with a purpose? Meaning, William, why don't you tell them, okay, let me back up one more time before we announce what we're going to do. So you've heard the announcement from the Supreme Court today. Naturally, there's going to be mayhem. So this announcement was actually kicked up a little bit because it's on the heels of it. The scourge of humanity is what is happening to children in child sex trafficking and a number of other things, okay? We've raised money in the past for Veterans for Child Rescue, and that's exactly what they do. Navy SEAL Craig Sawyer is, he does unbelievable work. His whole team does, rescuing these children from child sex trafficking. So what we're going to do on the heels of what just happened is we decided to start a campaign, and we have a benefactor who is willing to donate up to $1,000 for this campaign, match dollar for dollar up to $1,000. And what's the campaign, son?
So we made a shirt and it's the Troll Roll Call. I'll go ahead and show you guys. It has the list of names on the shirt. There's the camera. There we go. There's the shirt. The link is in the description. 100% of the profits will be going to Veterans for Child Rescue. There's $1,000 dollar for dollar match from the benefactor. So yeah, check out your Troll Roll Call shirts. The link is in the description. So
there you go.
Bonfire. And this will be good till
Monday at 5.
Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Monday at 5, yeah. So that's exactly what we did. So the people that got in here late, first of all, hit the thumbs up, tell other people so we don't have to answer this a couple of times. So here's what's going to happen in a nutshell. I'm not going to put on blast these other YouTube channels. Like I said, I haven't even been able to get a hold of them. Number two, I want to back up because some of the others may be watching right now. If you made a video regarding what I said, and I'm going to cover that too, because anybody that thinks we got a problem with free speech, you definitely don't understand the First Amendment. And I'm going to school you on that if it's necessary. If you'll notice, we don't ever delete comments in any of our videos. Yeah, we don't. The only thing we ever delete is like a threat of violence. And even then, I think we should keep those up because that's proof that there was a threat of violence. Yeah. So, and also pornography and some of that. Now, it like John from Special Operations Equipment said, sure is curious that, in these platforms, they'll allow all the pornography in the world, but, they will stifle, I better not say that, but they'll stifle people for saying certain things. Sure is curious. But anyway, if it's pornography, if it's, if it's pornography, if it's threats, and by and large, and if it's something like too egregious, but if you're telling me you hate this person or that, look, I'm not taking anything down. That's how much of a champion of free speech I am. I don't want to be stifled. And in that last video, let me point this out. In no way did I suggest stifling other people. In fact, some of the people that were critical of what I had to say were saying that I was. Well, you got it wrong. And like I said, I'm not asking you to correct yourself. I'm just saying go watch the video for yourself and you'll find out you got it wrong. Also, if you're trying to convince me, if you're arguing with me in the comments and you're trying to convince me that you don't need to be told who to watch, which we were never telling you who to watch, you better spell everything correctly.
if you're trying to convince me that you're an adult, you better spell everything correctly. At this point, I'm now going through and doing little edits on your improper grammar.
Well, it's not just that, son. It's also an open indication in many ways. When the syntax is off, it's usually the sign of a bot. And believe me, I'm so much of a Luddite, I had to learn that recently. So, I mean, anything technical, y'all, I mean, you won't even know what I got to go through just for an interview or anything else as of late. If he's not around or Michelle isn't around, look, I don't know what's up, but I did find that much out.
Yeah. Hey, also, guys, in the comments, the two of the trolls, Rebecca W and Mike WV, are in the comments. Don't say anything outrageous. Just let them be. Just let it go.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, for the folks just getting in here, like I said, we're going to have a campaign and we're putting all you trolls on blast. And every single dime, excuse me, every single dime, not 80%, not 98, not any of it, 100% will go to Veterans for Child Rescue. And at the same time, son, can you show them that shirt again for the people that just got in here?
The link is in the description if you guys are wanting to support that.
Yeah. So like I said, the bigger target, I'm not gonna aim at the 300-meter target when I got a 50-meter target that's creating all this mayhem between us. Because by and large, I think a lot of these other channels, I don't know what they've been told. And like I said, I've reached out to a number of them. None of them gotten back to me. And, you know, so what happens with that? I don't know.
And also the trolls with your names on them, you guys should be the first ones to buy the shirts because you're helping save kids. So,
that's right. You hate me that much?
You put in this much effort to help save kids. So thank you.
Yeah,
now go buy the shirt.
Yeah, go buy a shirt because guess what? Of course, we're going to buy the shirts. I mean, naturally. And it's on. So you trolls are on blast. Everybody knows who you are now. And every time, or not every single time.
Here's the shirt again.
Yeah, every time we do a video, y'all. There we go. Those are all the trolls out there, the ones seeking to create that are going back and forth. If you're new into this chat right now, the ones that are going back and forth to each channel, trying to stoke the fire between us, guess what? You just got put on blast. So you didn't become a discount code, but you did become the target of an awesome fundraiser. So we're going to make this a party with a purpose. And folks, I ask that you give, because like I said, we have a benefactor that will give up to $1,000, you know, match every donation out there. So, and honestly, even if you don't want to get a shirt, at the end of the day.
Well, there's an option to tip on there as well.
Oh, Vets for Child Rescue.
If you don't want the shirt, if you just want to tip however much, there's on the bonfire account.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, in addition, that'll go there. 100% of everything will go to Veterans for Child Rescue. Like I said, the scourge of our humanity is what happens to these young kids. In fact, as a family, we pray every single day that the good Lord brings the people responsible to justice and brings these kids to safety. And that's exactly what Vets for Child Rescue does. And like I said, we've raised money for them before through this platform, and we're hoping to raise a lot more. So, and then, like I said, we even raised the cost of the shirts for that reason. So why don't you tell them what's up?
Well, also, there's a special mention. And this person he was the only one that took this as an opportunity to promote his channel in a beneficial way. And his name is, oh crap, I lost it. His name is, crap, sorry guys.
Yeah, Rebecca, be sending my comfrey back. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. So go ahead and be on the first thing smoking, because we know what you're all about. And like I said, I'm not one of those people that's afraid of losing subscribers. I'm not asking for 1 million subscribers. I just want the right subscribers. You know, the same kinds of people that I meet at a lot of these events, a lot of these people that have the exact same care and, you know, about the things in the world that we do. So like I said, we don't need 100,000 subscribers. I just need the right subscribers.
The special mention is Green Country Agroforestry. If you're still in the comments, please comment now so everybody can go check this guy out. He's awesome. He's the only one that took it and was like, hey, this can be a positive thing. He did what rappers do whenever they have beefs. They, like rappers, whenever they're about to come out with an album, they'll do a diss track with another rapper and they'll become all popular and everything right before their album comes out. He knows that, and he took advantage of that. Well, there he is, Green Country Agroforestry.
Yeah, check him out, y'all. Hey, so Rebecca W., I would not want that evil in my soil. Yeah, you're that same kind of person. And let me just go ahead and address you too, some of you others, that you think you're hardcore manipulators. You pull the old, Well, we don't like it when you do blah, blah, blah. Did you go out there and poll all the other subscribers out there? Is that what you did? You went out there and said, hey, let me go. Can you fill this out? Did you do a Mark Dice on everybody? No, you didn't. You're a manipulator, and I don't care. Roll out. Do whatever you need to do. Send the country back. You know what? I'll even give you your money back. I don't want your business know-how.
Actually, yeah, send the comfort back.
Yeah, send it back. You don't deserve this fertility. That's right.
No, send the comfort back.
You don't deserve my fertility at this farm, girl. So Rebecca W., bam, what's she saying? Oh, you
Hold
both.
on. Hey, we're just wasting time on it.
Yeah.
There's people that actually have questions.
Yeah, there's good people out there. There's wonderful people out there. So Rebecca, hey, I want to thank you so much for all the money we're going to raise for Vets for Child Rescue.
Yeah.
You and the other trolls out there too. Hanging out on Billy Goat's Gruff, are you? Yeah. Roll up. Have a great day. I want to thank you so much for the wonderful idea that you created in us. So like I said, all the people that are new coming in, support this campaign, and you're giving money to Veterans for Child Rescue. And that comes right on the heels of what just happened in the Supreme Court today. It doesn't eradicate child murder. It just throws it back to the states, like a great many other things. And then on top of that, look at what happened the day before regarding that thing in New York concerning the Second Amendment. So there's been some good news for patriots out there. Is it going to stay good news? I don't know. A lot of these lunatics like that, Rebecca and some of the other people out there. Yeah, a lot of these people out there. Hey, Doug and Stacey are in here.
Hey, if she actually sends the comfort back, well, what's the legal term? Raffle it off?
No, you can't say that.
No,
we're going to have a giveaway.
It'll go to Vets for Child Rescue.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's all right. So
because a bunch of people are commenting saying they want that comfort.
Yep. Yeah, y'all. I know everybody wants comfort right now, but we can't rape the soil around here doing that. So, but hey, like I said, the number, I'm going to say it once again, all these trolls have been going back and forth. I wonder if it's been happening. Doug and Stacey were in here also. All these trolls have been going back and forth. Big fans of what y'all do, by the way. And Doug it was kind of cool. As a little side note, I remind me to tell you about Doug when I met him and Stacey up there, man. Fantastic, wonderful people. Yeah. Well, I probably ought to tell everybody else too.
Probably.
Yeah. So anyway, what was I going to say?
It's a story about Doug and Stacey.
Well, I was going to say something else, but anyway, it was cool. They were very gracious, very kind. But I also want to say that all these trolls have been hitting a number of YouTube channels out there. Like I said, I don't necessarily take back what I said, but the people I was targeting, if you look at the video I made, they were people I know. If I don't know you, I wasn't talking about you. And some of you people that are raising Cain, I never even heard of you before.
Yeah. There's quite a few people that responded to us that we didn't even know existed.
Yeah. So
that's okay. I don't have any problem with that. But hey, Dad, we should probably move on. We're spending too much time on this.
Okay. So look, y'all, one more time. We're not going to, I'll get to Doug and Stacey and how much of a joy it was to actually meet them one time. I want to say that, look, y'all, I'm serious now. I know we both have a gift for comedy, but look, at the end of the day, there is nothing more insidious, nothing more diabolical than these special seedy morons in this world, wickedness beyond all imagination, and what they do to these kids. And Vets for Child Rescue are out there getting these kids back and discovering some grisly stuff that I dare not even speak of. I don't even want to think about it. And they do unbelievable work. So like I said, every single dime that we raise, and like it'll go till 5 o'clock selling these shirts of all these trolls on here. So nobody thinks for a moment we are aggrandizing ourselves. 100% of all those proceeds, along with a benefactor who agreed to pay up to $1,000 match dollar for dollar. Every single dime is going to go for Vets for Child Rescue. We're going to help eradicate. It ain't enough to sit here and talk about this stuff. We're going to do every bit of our part. And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, folks, but we don't talk about that. Like Jesus said, you have your rewards. So there's things we do that we don't talk about. And of all the things we do, this is the one that affects us most. I mean, okay, we'll move on, son.
Yeah. What else was in the description?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. We're going to talk about Doug and Stacey for a minute there. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I remember going to this Homesteaders of America thing, and Doug.
Oh, hey, speaking of Doug and Stacey's, they said one will match up to $1,000 as well. Does that mean included, or?
I don't know what.
It says email them with the results.
Oh, okay, cool.
So there's 2 benefactors, both donating up to $1,000, matching dollar for dollar.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, and like I said, we'll be chipping in too, but I'm not going to talk about what we do. It is substantial. So anyway,
thank you.
Yeah, thanks a million. Anyway, I was at the Homesteaders of America, and I was just starting a YouTube channel, and I heard Doug and Stacey, and I noticed, man, everybody else kind of got out of there, but man, they were on their bicycle talking to every and anybody that wanted to talk to them. And I just thought they were fantastic people. I talked to Doug and then talked to Stacey. Next thing you know, they're calling me up on the stage, and I remember being as nervous as all get out. So yeah, they kind of gave me my start on YouTube, and yeah, I do want to thank them so very much. I mean, they do wonderful work, and they do really good things. But like I said, y'all, if I don't know you already personally, I wasn't aiming at you. But check this out. We're going to turn this into something good. So I'm not apologizing for what I said. So don't get me, you got me messed up if you think that's about to happen. I have, and just for you people out there that think I'm being obstinate, I have recently apologized. Homestead Pastor called me out for something I said a while back. And I came on YouTube and apologized in front of the whole world or anybody watching. So we made that known. And so I don't have a problem. I will not only apologize, I will ask you to forgive me when I step out of order. But I'm not going to apologize for what I said regarding that because I meant every word. So hopefully there'll be some reforms in that department. But the bigger issue are these asinine, idiotic trolls that are acting like that instigator in the schoolyard. You just got put on blast. And I'm going to wear it on my shirt. So Rebecca W. and who's these other clowns? Tell them all over again.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we got to tell them. I want them to know because they might pop up in the comments here.
JDL Mac, Tatum E.
Troll.
Tony Mitchell.
Big troll.
Rebecca W.
Filthy troll.
Mike WV.
Dirty troll.
WMD.
Trolly troll.
All right. Now can we move on?
What are we going to move on to?
We have a swale workshop.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Anyway, we'll circle back. Forgive my use of the words. We'll circle back near the end of this, y'all. This can't be a really, really long one. And maybe we'll entertain some questions too if anybody has anything to say. But yeah, so we got a swale workshop. He's going to give you the details, son. Pull them up if you can. Cool. A lot of people, of all the permaculture things we do, one of the biggest things we get asked, besides how much money do you make? Strangely enough, seems an odd question to ask somebody. Anyway, is how to do earthworks, how to do swales. Well, we're teamed up with Living Free in Tennessee, Nicole Sauce, who just left our house today. She spent the night. We hung out, worked on the pigs, did a lot of planning, and a swale, S-W-A-L-E, Doug and Stacey, is basically a water harvesting ditch on contour, okay? It captures water, puts it in your landscape, which is probably something very, very well needed in all these drought-stricken areas. So that's what a swale is meant to do, is to help drought-proof your place. And at the same time, it's a tree growing system on steroids.
And it's also a nutrient capturing system as well.
Right. So when we recently went back to our other land in Texas, we showed you, we left that place neglected for 2.5 years and things are booming, thriving, fruit trees, everything is blowing up. And it didn't have, after we put it in, we basically left it, moved to North Carolina where we live on our farm now. And we left it. We hadn't been there in 2.5 years. Go back, and it's still thriving in East Texas, y'all. So these methods, these techniques, they work even through drought. Because in places like Texas, Kansas, well, at least Texas, okay, because we've helped build farms in a lot of different places. But if it can work in Texas and East Texas with all those droughts and everything, it can work everywhere. So a lot of people are asking, how do we do this? Especially when we're in drought-stricken United States of amnesia.
I mean, just keep in mind that Jeff Lawton used swales to green Jordan, which is below sea level and had highly alkaline soil. Like it was basically growing in salt.
Right. So we're going to have a link out there.
It's in the description, actually.
Right. And folks, look, a lot of these classes we do, whether it's a butchery class or we've showed people how to butcher pigs, a number of other classes that we've done them. I mean, don't think we're out here making money doing this stuff because you don't make money putting on classes by and large. You really don't.
So here's what we're going to talk about in the swale workshop. What is a swale? When and why to install a swale? When to not use a swale? How to lay out a swale? how to dig a swale both with equipment and by hand. And then also we're going to go over how to plant a swale. We won't be planting one because it's at the end of July. We'll seed it and scatter mulch it, but we won't plant any trees on it. But we will put flags where the tree itself and the guilds will be going.
Right. And there will be a part 2 of this where we go back and we show you with permaculture design, where we put all of our nitrogen fixing trees, how those are situated, and how you fit in your productive trees. Also your berries, your legume bushes, your ground cover. You got 7 layers of a forest, and we're going to replicate, just like in our videos we show you, in our food forest and in our emerging we haven't been at this place that long, and it's blowing up. I mean, just in that one little spot down there where the food forest is, we've already gotten close to 60 gallons of strawberries, and it's actually it's ground cover. Okay, it's edible ground cover. That's what it is. So that's what we're going to teach.
Becoming Miss Self-Sufficient. She asked, could it help me out here in Death Valley, California? Absolutely. That's the exact environment where you want to replicate a swale.
Well, you want to do it in a lot of different places, but the beauty of a swale, remember, when water comes on your property, you really only have 3 choices, really. You can capture it, at least for a little while. You can deflect it, or you can amplify it. And we're going to show you how to do some of that stuff in this swale class. So look, if we're dropping a bunch of good news. I know a lot of lives and everything. People get out there and they get upset or whatever. Hey, if you're just coming in, hey, by the way, hit the thumbs up. So that's exactly what's going on. We have got a fundraiser. If you're just getting in here, we got a fundraiser going on for Vets for Child Rescue. So I'll circle back and cover that again, and then we'll.
Yeah, the links to everything is in the description. There's a link to the bonfire campaign. There's a link to Vets for Child Rescue, and there's also a link to the swale class.
Yeah. Homesteading pastor, my pastor, y'all, check him out. Subscribe. You'll be glad you did. I mean, that's where I go to church. Anyway, it's going to be in Camden, Tennessee, Pastor Lon, and it's going to be it's kind of cool. That first day, we're going to show you how to lay out a swale on contour. We're going to show you with primitive means, and we're going to show you with laser levels. So whichever one you have, you'll be trained.
Yeah.
Next thing we're going to do, we're going to commence the digging. We're going to have a machine on one of it, and then the other part, we're going to do it like an Amish barn raising. We're going to get the able-bodied men out there. Remember, make men men again, or women, whoever's so inclined. We're going to get out there, take not a big portion of it, but some of it, and we're going to do it with shovels, because we built swales that way before too. Because I mean, there was times where we didn't have the money to do it any other way. It wasn't in the budget, and so we're going to do that. We're going to show you what to do. And the cool thing about doing a swale right now is that it's not ideal. By and large, it's not the most ideal time to do it, but we're going to show you that even in those times, with good design and with good methods and using the right cover crop, which we're going to do, we're going to take the right dog to the hunt on this. We're going to show you how this can be absolutely successful and how you can go a long way in drought proofing your place, which, you know, if you know anything about these weather cycles that are going on, and also these, the sun activity, there's that minimum. I can't remember the name of it. Grand solar minimum. This happening all the time. Hey, y'all, quit messing with that troll in there. Just let her rave on that people know her mad. I mean, she's as crazy as a 3-headed cat anyway. So anyway, let her do her thing, and we'll just drive on and talk among ourselves. And not unless she just wants a beating, which some of you people seem to be dropping it on her. You would think you would move on by now. So like I said, we don't. And for the other homestead channels out there that might take offense that we left comments up, we never, ever delete comments. We don't. And the problem is, it's not a problem. And the motive is, look, I'm a strong believer in the First Amendment. But also, for some of you people that were critical of me, also, the First Amendment doesn't mean that somebody says that it's free speech only when you like what they're saying. It's also speech that's critical. So for those that don't know, remember, the First Amendment isn't just freedom of speech. I know we ain't the 4th of July yet, but think about it. First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, the right to assemble peaceably and petition the government. That's the whole First Amendment. And if you want to get into a battle of free speech with me, I'll take that argument with anybody, any day. So don't be critical of the people that are critical of others about certain things. I'm not stifling speech, never was, never advocated, and never will, which is also the reason why we don't take comments down. You can call me a no good, blah, 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 and that happens. but I'm not going to take it down unless you're advocating violence or anything like that.
Yeah.
So-
So back to the swales, Dad.
Hang on. What
Yeah,
I didn't
so-
see what Doug said there.
Yeah,
Doug
he's
or Stacey.
asking if we would like to come speak about swales in their conference in August.
Yeah, I'd love to, man. I mean,
Yeah.
we that's what we do. I don't go by the handle anymore. I used to be the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, but and I don't know whatever possessed him to wear that pasture raised pimp shirt. And pimp used to stand for permaculture is my passion. So it was a way to try to get kids. The idea was to try to get people from the hood to find what we do a little more interesting. But at the end of the day, we're like, man, we're doing real stuff, so we don't need gimmicks. So we dropped it. And also, when you're walking through it was a Lowe's, and I see a lady in there with her child, and she's like looking up at me, like looking at my shirt, and the nuance that created for that mom trying to explain that pimp is an acronym was a little too much for a young child. So I just gave it up completely. We don't need gimmicks. We
Soon to be homesteader, you asked if we'll be posting the swale class online. I think Nicole Sauce is trying to figure that out, whether or not we're going to record it and do an online class as well. Stay tuned for that. We're going to try to get something figured out.
Yeah, there's going to be an online option. She's trying to work on that right now. And also there's going to be, now that's going to be at the end of July. Now we got to put foot to butt to make that happen. William just drove 6 hours to get over to Special Operations Equipment, which is another, probably the most suppressed YouTube channel out there. John and his wife who run that, Amanda, they are fantastic people. Been an honor to get to know them. And it's also a bigger honor to allow us to work with them. So here's how cool this swale is, y'all. This swale class is going to be. So William drove out there, did an entire, tell them what you did.
No, that's what I wanted to bring up. The real cool thing about this class, and you don't get to see it very often, but they put a pond in an improper location. It's a ridgeline pond. The issue with the ridgeline pond by itself is that water does not naturally flow to it. Everything's shedding away from your ridgeline. So we're going to actually install a swale there. Having a ridgeline pond is very helpful if you can achieve it, but we're going to use a swale to funnel water into the ridgeline pond, and you don't get to see that very often. So that's one thing I'm excited about.
Well, most people, they ask us all the time, what is it, can you take me? They do a permaculture design course, and they never in the course of their lives ever see a real deal swale. So unless you go to our other property in Texas, by and large, you're not going to see one. I have seen one that was a swale at a beach once, but it was at a beach, I mean, it's not like it was being planted out or used to make or to do anything productive with it. So that's exactly what you're going to see on this property. Here's the cool part, y'all. Here's why I'm so excited about this class and the other things going on is that in October, they're also going to have a, what's the next one going to be? It's going to be self-reliance number. I can't remember which it is, but Freedom Gathering on steroids, y'all. I mean, it was a joy to be there. And to share the stage, I'd never in a million years thought I'd share the stage with Nicole, John Willis, that one old boy in Oklahoma. I wish I could remember his name. I really like him. Jack Spirko. I've been listening to his podcast forever and a day, man. I never thought I'd be up on the stage with any. Hey, honestly, Dad, I never thought this would ever happen. Let me talk about this class, huh?
Yeah, well, we got questions pertaining to the class.
Okay, let me just cover this real quick, okay?
Okay.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to digress. But we'll get back to it. The cool thing about this class is that John and his wife, Amanda, have agreed to basically allow us to make their place the permaculture jungle palace of all time. What I mean by that is we are going to have, it will be the ultimate demonstration site for what can be done with good, solid permaculture design. We're designing it. We're probably going to bring in a couple of others to help kind of back us up, So it's going to have all of it. They already have, it's going to have orchards, food forests. So you can go there, not see it two-dimensionally on a screen, see it three-dimensionally in place and see how these things get placed in there. Also, how to plant a tree. There is a proper way to plant a tree. A lot of people don't know that. We've talked about it a lot on this YouTube channel.
Apparently the landscapers in Nashville don't know there's a proper way either.
Yeah, or to mulch a tree where they just sit there and pile it up like that so they can disease the tree. Anyway, you're going to see that. And then subsequent things, every time, John is insistent, and this is what I love about this dude so much, is that every single time there's another self-reliance festival, which is, I think, happens every 4 months.
Every 4 months.
Every time you come back there, he insists that this place looks distinctly different than what it did from the last time you were there. So every single time there was going to be a major earthwork, a major planting, a major all these things. And then along the way, making classes along the way just affordable enough to be able to pay for what's needed. Because honestly, this stuff costs money. Porta potties cost money. Him, you know, he basically has been taking his employees, he's paying his employees to do a lot of this stuff. All this stuff takes money. So it will be as affordable as possible. And at the same time, it's going to be balling. So we're going to be there and we're going to show you how to do this. So there's a lot of cool things going on in this live.
Back to Basics Farmstead. They're mentioning that they have the same problem with their pond. You guys should probably go to the class. This will help out filling up that pond for sure. Also, check out their store. I believe it's on Etsy. It's linked in their videos, but Mom bought some, was it coasters? Not coasters. The thing you put a hot pan on. I can't remember, but they look awesome. Yeah, check out their Etsy
okay,
store.
I got to cover this one. So
hey, hold on. Before we get into that, Dad, leave that alone. Just leave that alone. Also, somebody was asking if this was something they could bring their wife and kids to. I don't think the kids, because I mean, how well behaved are your kids? Because he has dogs out there that could kill me and Dad. So
yeah.
I mean, they're locked up and they're well behaved. But if your kid goes over there and sticks an arm in there, that's not going to be.
We'll do subsequent.
A good idea.
Yeah, we'll do subsequent videos of whether that's cool. I know a lot of people want to bring kids to something like this, but John hasn't. You know, he's not been real crazy about that because all you need is one kid to get in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And next thing you know,
and then there's no more festivals.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I won't name this person, but let me just cover this real quick, and we'll come back to it. So I guess one troll out there is calling me a coward because I refuse to name these other channels. You just proved my point. Thank you very much. It is a more unifying thing to not even do such a thing. I'm aiming at the closer target, and you, all you trolls out there, are the closest target, and we're going to make a lot of money on you. We're going to save a lot of kids from child sex trafficking thanks to your stupidity. So, no, I'm not going to call out other people. What I am calling out is you trolls. So we'll announce that list one more time before we roll out of here.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of questions. Sorry, guys, if we're missing your questions. It's
sorry
rolling
about
by pretty fast. It's actually the biggest live stream we've had.
Yeah, so here's what we need to do, y'all. Next time we do a live and we're talking about growing a lot of food, because that's what we do, y'all. We've been showing you how to raise chickens for free in the Chicken Tractor on steroids, the world's best chicken system, and almost nobody knows about it. We've been evangelizing that system on this channel forever and a day. Let's get those kinds of numbers watching that kind of video. Let's also we raise pork for 21 cents a pound. Yes, legit. In fact, at the last Self-Reliance Festival, I gave a talk on how I do it. I even gave away some trade secrets on how you should do it and how you can raise these pigs, raise these chickens, get all the compost you could ever need. Okay, instead of tuning into a video like this, and I thank you, I'm not saying don't tune in. I'm just saying, let's start doing this and evangelizing some of these systems, not just us. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there, a lot of wonderful people that are really doing awesome stuff that are going to teach you and feed you in these crazy times. We are offering, you'll notice that the slant on our channel is still permaculture, but the preparedness is already baked in. You dig? That's the nature of permaculture. Remember, a lot of the greenies out there say, oh, well, you need to be giving all this away. You need to be doing all that. Well, they forget about the prime directive of permaculture, which is, by the way, which drew me to it, is when it says, and I'm going to paraphrase it, basically, immediately take ownership of yourself and your family. So what I see when he was younger, my wife, I see myself responsible for everything they do and fail to do. You see, that's what drew me to permaculture. And then they got me there, and then I saw the ethics, and I'm like, oh, how cool is that? So here we are doing the best we can to evangelize this design science. And for, some of the detractors out there to say, oh, you make money on YouTube. Apparently you don't know how YouTube works, because no, we don't. I mean, it's pennies per video if you knew.
YouTube, I mean, yeah, you check out
not that.
Like when we check out some of our most popular videos and look at them and realize how little that video actually made, it's kind of incredible. There was a question. Somebody was asking any brief suggestions for dredging out an old pond that has a ton of muck leaf debris causing shallowing. Yeah, that is a very nutrient rich material. I would definitely recommend dredging that out. Now, the issue is that it's anaerobic currently. So when you dredge it out, it's going to stink and smell bad. If you can add it to some sort of a compost pile, whether it be, or it could just be straight carbon as well, and make that an aerobic compost pile, then you can still go ahead and use it on your garden and stuff like that. But that's very nutrient dense stuff. Think of it as a nutrient trap. Everything that hits the water rarely comes back out. So it's just sitting down at the bottom, decomposing. The downside is that it's anaerobic. Take it out, add carbon, and make it aerobic. Add air to it.
See why I'm such a proud dad, y'all? Instead of sending him off to be brainwashed in some university setting, we sent him off to Jeff Lawton. We sent him off to learn from Joel Salatin. We sent him off to the Earthship Academy. So that's one of the things out there that, I mean, honestly, as a dad, love you, son.
Love you too, Dad.
I know. Isn't he great? Yeah.
Another question was somebody was asking, it's like their dry season. I can't find the comment, but somebody was asking about their comfrey. They're saying it's growing slow and it's during the dry season. We noticed that the comfrey that grows best is near stuff that we have to water. So like
well, not just that. What comes off the high tunnel is blowing up.
Yeah, the stuff coming off like a watershed area, stuff that's planted near a watershed area, the stuff that gets watered often grows the fastest. Like before I went to John's for the festival, we harvested some roots to bring to them, and that comfrey plant is already back. And that's in an area that gets watered pretty frequently. Yeah,
but a lot of times also reason why we've been, long before we sold comfrey, and by the way, folks, we're out of it for now. We have some that's probably ready to harvest, but look, no wine before it's time. So, hey, Deep South is in here. What's up, y'all? So let me just kind of recap for the people that are just getting in here, y'all, real quick. We got a fundraiser going on, and we're on Troll Patrol. We're putting trolls on blast, and we're letting you know what they are. We got T-shirts with all the trolls' names on them. Every single dime goes to Vets for Child Rescue. We now have 2 benefactors. They're going to match dollar for dollar whatever we bring in for that. Campaign ends on Monday. Let's do everything we can to eradicate this scourge from humanity. We just had a decent decision just unfold recently. So let's just use the momentum and keep on going. So no, we're not going to sit here and blast other people. We're going to blast you trolls. And I know you hate it. Have a nice day.
Hey, also, everybody check out Weapons Junkie. His son, his 11-year-old son.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a written out plan. He's going to be a strawberry farmer, a rabbit farmer. Yeah, but he's starting his own grow tower, Boston Rabbit. Some strawberry starts. And planted it out. And yeah, everybody check out. Give him some encouragement. Give the 11-year-old some encouragement.
Do that. But let me tell you how that happened and how it relates to me. When I was a kid, I was a little kid growing up in Pennsylvania. We were broke, no hope, end of the rope, no soap, you name it. We were busted. But of course, everybody else was around you broke too. So when we went on a school field trip, and I know a lot of you out there could probably relate to this, we never went anywhere. We never ate out. Things were pretty tough, 6 boys being raised by a single grandmother. So what do you expect? Anyway, one of the first field trip I ever remember going to was an apple orchard and processing place. And as a kid, I remember walking in there and I smelled this. To me, it was paradise. And there's nothing in this world that is more evocative than smells. You ever smell something and it immediately takes you back to a good or a bad place? Well, that's what it did for me. So anyway, this kid is out there at this festival, and we got all these strawberries that we brought for the homesteading pastor and Miss Robbie, his wife. Well, this kid comes around there, and he's just a wonderful, sweet little boy. And didn't say a whole lot at first, and came over there, and I figured the homesteading pastor wouldn't mind, so I gave him a couple of these strawberries because he kept looking at them. So, I mean, what am I going to do? I got to give this kid some strawberries. Yeah. So I gave him a couple. He had a hand of them. And folks, if you haven't had real deal strawberries that were picked that day, you've never had a strawberry. I hate to say, if you've only gotten them out of the grocery store, you don't know what strawberries are supposed to taste like. Anyway, this little boy, I mean, you could see his face light up, y'all, and it reminded me of what it was like for me. That's a big reason why I'm a farmer today, was because of that early experience that I had on a school field trip. Well, this boy, all of a sudden, he didn't say a whole lot before then. When it was time to go, this little boy rolls up, and I'm pretty sure Pastor Lyon was standing there. He comes up here and he's telling us what he's fixing to do about being a strawberry farmer. And this kid is fired up, and it just took me back. I mean, it really did. It took me back to when I think I was 8 years old at that time, if I remember right. I think I was 8 years old. It took me back to what I felt like. And it's just an enormous joy to see that what we did. I ain't got the words. I ain't trying to choke up on here. I'm not trying to, get all teary-eyed or nothing. But it is a joy to know that there's one less kid that's probably not going to be addicted to these stupid phones. You dig?
Yeah. And he also learned a trick that the sweetest strawberries are the ones that have the wormhole in them.
Yeah. So this kid is an autodidact, meaning that's a fancy way of saying self-taught, unlike the trolls out there. So this kid is self-taught. He's going to be self-taught. And that's what we did with him. He had a full academic scholarship to college, went there, didn't like it, didn't want anything to do with the communist well, it was literally communist indoctrination. Yeah. I mean, where they had
was supporting Mao.
Yeah. One was an acolyte of Chairman Mao. So do what you want with that. So what we did, we found what his interests were, and then that's what we paid for. And actually, he paid for it. So went to Australia, learned under the best on how to do a lot of this stuff from Jeff Lawton himself, and has been to a lot of other places to learn from the very best. So we poured, and he poured our resources. Instead of spending money on a degree in worthlessness, we sent him off to go find out what he does. And now he's something else, y'all. So look, I'm sorry.
Right,
I love my
son.
son.
Can we change the subject now? This
Nope.
is awkward.
Nope.
So everybody check out Weapons Junkie. He has a YouTube channel, and give the kid some encouragement if you could. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So let's come full circle with this. We're getting on the, Doug and Stacey say, send him up here to come to work. Yeah, we're going to farm him out.
No, actually, he's coming here first, and then we'll send him down to Missouri.
Yeah, man, it's hot as the blazes in Missouri, man. I remember going to sapper school there in Missouri, man. They call that place Little Korea. Yeah, because it's just they call it because of the weather. It's like freezing and burning up either way. So, yeah, but there's a lot of wonderful, fantastic people in Missouri.
I was gonna say I've been to Missouri and I haven't seen a single Korean person there.
Okay, so we got any questions here, son?
Yeah. Also, everybody hit the thumbs up button if you could. That helps.
Thanks, Glenn.
The video and everything, or the live stream. So, what's the answer to wolf preppers out to raid and take, not grow, according to you all?
Hey, look, y'all, we're going to tell you right now.
Wolf preppers?
I don't know, but we're going to say this. Look, so apparently a number of people think they're calling me out.
No, that's not what they're asking. They're talking about, so what's the answer to wolf preppers who are out to raid and take, not grow? And
oh, okay. If I think I understand.
Marauders.
Okay, yeah, I got strong feelings on that. So how many people out there, when you ask somebody, when you're trying to tell them, hey, you need to consider preparedness, how many people, and you hear this said in jest a lot of times, they tell you, well, I got a gun, I'll just go out. The first one I hear is, I'll just go hunting. I'm hearing that from people that have never been hunting before. Yeah. If that's your response, then I believe you're very naive, because there's a reason why it's not called killing. Hunting is not as easy as you think, okay? And then when you have it done, what do you do with it? We are butchers, so yes, we know what to do with that animal. We know how to do it without refrigeration in a lot of ways. We've done that, and we do it. As far as these others that think you're going to go out there, I guess that's been a thing lately, people talking about it. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. You live by the sword, you're going to die by it too. If that's your means for prepping, because there's a lot of people out there, and I've been critical of them, many of them family members. We got all the money in the world to go out and spend money on this and that, and then when things jump off, you say, I'm coming to your house. No, you ain't.
And at that point, you might be more likely to see other hunters out there than
that's right
than deer at that point.
Right, but if that's any of your look. Please unsubscribe if that's what you think you're going to do for prepping. That's not what we do. We won't ever advocate violence. Now let me say it this way. We are all an adherent on this farm to the non-aggression principle, which in other words means don't start no SH and there won't be no IT. That does not mean nonviolent. That doesn't mean, it means you don't start it, we won't end it. So with that said, you people out there that think your preparedness is in the form of stealing from others, it ain't going to end well for you. You might get away with it, but not long.
Sandy Phillips says, I have 223 and 556 ideas for wolf preppers.
Dang. They said it's 111 degrees in Deep South. Woo. Good night. That's one cool thing I love about where we live. I mean, man, my heart goes out to a lot of you folks that are in the middle of drought, which is why we are having a swale class. You're in the middle of drought, and we have a lot of whether contrived or otherwise, strange weather. I tend to agree with the former. Anyway, man, my heart goes out to you, but that's part of why we chose to live where we do. We live in the rainforest by and large, and not everybody has that. So we don't necessarily, right? We're in a temperate rainforest, so a lot of people don't have that. So one way is get ponds in, like Deep South did, and even then, drought's long enough. Pond is only going to go so far. Get some water harvesting systems in there. Do your roof catchment. I know there are laws out there, unjust laws, I might add, regarding capturing your roof runoff. Look, I don't play with unjust laws. I'm not ever going to be a part of that. Look, if it's unjust, you do what you want, but I'm going to do what I want too.
Yeah, if there's laws against capturing rainwater, don't catch it. Just slow it down until it continues onto the watershed.
There you go.
That makes sense.
That's exactly what you do when it comes to earthworks. Yeah. Like I said, you either capture it, amplify it, or redirect it. That's really all you do. So you can redirect it, but you keep a little bit back. You dig?
Or, it can hit barrels, but you're not capturing it. You're just slowing it down. And you can even claim that it's reducing erosion.
Just like that video we did a while back. Look, I'm going to tell you straight. There's a lot of this leftist nonsense you can turn on its head. Like, some of you folks, in terms of preparedness, we'll go ahead and cover that. And then we'll come full circle, and then we'll probably end this. But, when they're in there telling you, look, if anything can be anything else, then guess what? When the code instructor or code enforcer comes out to your place and says, hey, we heard you got roosters out here in this lot. When they come up and tell you that, tell them, look, my roosters identify as dogs. I don't know what you're talking. Say it straight face. What you gonna do?
Or claim it's an endangered animal of some sort in your state.
Yeah, you could be like Jimmy Stewart, man, acting like it's an imaginary animals around you. I did a joke about that in the video, but I'm dead serious. If anything can choose to be anything else, then if you want to be a trans-testicle polar bear, why not? If anything else, I can tell them, hey, you ain't supposed to have roosters. I'm like, no, man, you misgendered my hen over there.
Those are bald eagles.
That's an endangered. So if they can do that, if they're telling you in some of these HOAs or some of these other places, there's clever ways around that. Like I said, you can turn this stuff on its face. And I recently told Joel Salatin about some of the ways I did that when I got to meet him lately.
Hey, there was one guy asking, how would you suggest learning to butcher your own animals?
All right. Well, I learned at the local pig in Kansas City, finest butcher shop around, if you ask me, and had the benefit of working with guys that worked in Michelin star restaurants. So I feel really blessed to do that. And well, to get in the front door, I kept asking and asking. I even said, man, I'll work for free. They wouldn't get back with me. I guess they thought I was crazy. In fact, they told me they thought I was crazy. Long story short, that's actually a longer story, but in a nutshell, if you can, everybody's having a hard time finding people. Look, y'all, if there is a skill you want, I went there. I learned the butcher's trade by working for free. And you know what else is better? At the same time, every hipster in Kansas City wanted to be a butcher. Now, I'm sick and tired of not getting my meat back or somebody else's. That's my impetus for doing it. Plus, there's nothing more empowering than learning how to process your own meat, learning what to do with it and how to put it in the freezer and all that good stuff. Anyway, found out all the tricks of the trade. Also found out that it's pretty tough to find an honest mechanic and an honest butcher. Honest mechanic, you can find that one over at Hacks for the Homestead. Anyway, as far as that goes, volunteer and do not expect to get paid. Because when I was in there, I was much older than a lot of the people that were in there. I was much older, but I was outperforming them. I was outworking them. I'm older than every one of them kids in there. And when the day was done, I was the first one picking up that mop. Everybody else had to be told I'm in there. And the thing that gave me the most joy working there, not only was the free meat, which was cool, was hearing one of the owners say, and he's screaming at these guys. The hardest working dude in here is an old timer. He's
twice your age.
and he was talking about me. I mean, which was clear, and he's working for free. So yeah, if you want to learn this trade, work for free. Go find a place that's doing any processing. Trust me, they're hurting for help right now. Work for free. Now, are you going to learn a lot of the other techniques? No, you don't need that. And I've been kind of encouraging a lot of the people in the homestead world, instead of doing some of those highfalutin cuts, do you really need to know how to make mortadella, prosciutto, capicola, blah, 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 blah? You get it. You don't need to know all that. That's why I'm teaching. Yes, I can do all those things, but I'm not going to teach you that until I know you're ready for it. So when we do butchery classes, it is homestead butchery. You ain't going to be learning any of that nouveau almondine, thin crust, bottled water, deep fried city food. You ain't going to be learning any of that. We're going to show you how to dispatch that animal, how to gut and skin it, regardless of the animal. We're going to show you how to break it into primals. We're going to show you how to break it into cuts. Then we're going to show you how to, do all that cool stuff. But if you can't wait on the class that we do, go volunteer somewhere and do it tomorrow. If you feel like, I was taking off. I was working a regular job at that time. I was literally taking off work. My boss came up to me and says, "Hey, Billy, man, I'm noticing, why are you only working 32 hours a week?" And I'm like, "Because I can't get by on 24." So I was taking off work. I was working for the government at the time. I was taking off work left and right. They call me up. "Hey, Billy, we're making sausage today." They're acting like they're doing me a favor. What was happening is one of the guys wanted to take a day off. I'm like, "Man, I'll be on the first thing smoking." I'd tell him I'm out. Go there to the butcher shop. I couldn't get enough of it, and I still can't.
Tactical Redneck Equipment said, make friends with somebody that knows how to do it, then be useful to them.
Man, he said it all right there. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, be a blessing. Be a hand. Honestly, be a hand. That's what we call it in the trades, So go out there. Not everybody's going to be able to train with me. We're going to have this Butcher Fest right before, and we're looking to do that right before the next Self-Reliance Festival. And the idea is, it's still in the works right now. The idea is 3 or 4 days consisting of day 1, we process rabbits, chickens, and ducks. Day 2, sheep. Day 3, pigs. We were going to try to throw a cow in there, but we can't do that because storing facility. You can't just, we can't cut up a cow and then send you home with it. When we get it done, you got to let that age. It's wise to let it age for a while. So we're going to at least do that much. And we're going to, something like that isn't going to be inexpensive, but it's going to be comprehensive. And when we walk out of there, that's what I want to do. I want to turn out other butchers. I want to turn out homestead butchers. Once you master that and you show me you got that, then we'll talk about how to do some of this other stuff.
Somebody was asking me about sharpening knives. Is there an easier Barbara something? I can't find the comment again, but you're asking about sharpening knives. Depending on the length of the knife, there's this one system. It's not, I think it's like $60, but it's called the Lansky Deluxe Sharpening System. It was a video we did years ago, but it works. It's a controlled bevel system. It's a guided controlled bevel system. And if you're not wanting to learn the whole skill of using whetstones or anything like that, that should get you by.
All right, y'all, we're going to hit this thing full circle because we still, look, y'all, man. Okay, I'm just going to keep it real. This bone sauce is literally, a lot of people want it, and it takes a lot of work. So it means we got long days, and we work long days, and it takes a lot to get that stuff right. I just screwed up a whole batch, and that ain't cheap.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I'm the one doing it. Yeah, no, why would I tell y'all, hey, y'all just totally messed this up. Like I said, we keep the prices as low as we can on everything, but we still, it takes a lot of work. So if anybody doesn't know what that is, it is the world's best deer repellent. Probably a number of people out there could probably
somebody just asked real quick, how long is the Butcher Fest going to be? It's going to be over 4 days, and it's going to be right before the
potentially. We're looking at 3, maybe 4 days, and it's going to be right before the Self-Reliance Festival, which will be Saturday and Sunday. So it'll be either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we're still working that part out, and there's a whole lot of moving parts. And at the last festival we went to this last weekend, man, it was awesome. We came across some really awesome people that are going to supply the meat for that or supply the animals for that. So look, y'all, it's not like, look, I want to put out legit people that know what they're doing. And then here's the big thing. We get you trained. We're not going to make you as fluent as maybe we are, but you're going to be pretty darn conversational. I want you to take this information, go home, and teach as many people as you can. Let's put as many butchers out there. Make me irrelevant. That's what I want you to do. That's a lot of the products we sell. That's what it's for. We sell you bone sauce because it's the world's best deer repellent. We took Sepp Holcher's recipe and made it much, much stronger with a technique that we invented. But the thing is, everything we sell, you don't have to come back and buy again. You ever notice that?
Yeah, we only have one product where even then you wouldn't have to come back and buy it if you made it yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So we sell bone sauce, put it on the trees, deer don't come around, and comfrey. Once you have it in the ground, look, I'm trying to make us irrelevant.
Well, we have comfrey salve.
Well, we have that where you buy the salve.
But even then, if you bought the comfrey, you don't have to buy the salve in the future.
Right, exactly. So we're selling you things that you don't, and like I said, we're sold out of comfrey right now, but we are selling things that make us irrelevant. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to put out so many people that we no longer, there used to be, think about this. There was this old dude from the USD that came by that butcher shop one day. We hated when those guys came around, but I like this old timer. And he told us, it's real sad. This guy came out of retirement and he's working as an inspector for the USDA. And he said, you know what, man, I love coming to this shop because you guys do it the old way. Back when I was a kid, and this guy was in his late 70s at doing this job. He said, back when I was a kid, every single neighborhood had a butcher. And then when you look at what Justin from Metcalf Mills is doing, where every community had a miller, had a butcher. We're going to have to get back to that. So what I want to do is have bunches of people come out here, learn as much as we can pour into you. Take video, do whatever you got to do. Take it home and start your own classes. Show other people how to do it, because
we'll do it first and then
that's
teach.
Right.
Yeah.
Do it on your own as much as you can. Don't worry. If it weighs, it pays. If you don't get it perfect, that's fine. Okay. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and come full circle real quick, because like I said, I got to commence to doing this bone sauce. And like I said, bone sauce comfort, you can find it at the website if you need it, but that's not what is important right now. What's important is, for those of you that came in late, we're just going to kind of give you a recap, and then we're going to probably end it right there. So I want to thank everybody, even you trolls. Bless you. Don't hate you, but I am going to raise money on your backs.
I'm highly entertained by you sometimes.
Oh, yeah. We're going to raise money on your backs. So what's been going on in a nutshell, made that video, and all these trolls have been going to different channels, and they're trying to stir up junk between us. We found a common element between a lot of these channels, where a lot of these trolls are going over here trying to egg the thing on, like the schoolyard instigator. When we discovered that, we said, no, okay, we got announcements, but it's not going to be the ones you necessarily expected. We're going to aim at the closer target, not the one that's insignificant really in comparison. Because honestly, it's you people out there that are creating all this strife out here, and you took what was meant to be an isolated thing, and then you went out here and you stoked the fire with all these other folks. So, son, you want to pull that shirt up again? We'll give them another shot at it.
Yeah.
So what we did,
people keep asking about the links and all that. The links are in the description of this live event.
Right. So what we did, so instead of coming out here and naming some of these unscrupulous people, some of you may be disappointed, but if you are and you didn't see the twist that we just put on it, then you should be asking critical questions about yourself, because honestly, we decided we are going to turn this into something wonderful. We are going to raise money for Vets for Child Rescue. And like I said, the scourge of humanity, the most diabolical thing that happens on this planet is what happens to these little kids. And we're going to do everything we can to stop it. So just like I want to turn out a bunch of butchers, we're going to turn out a bunch of soldiers that are out there, and we'll give we'll give everything we can to try to stop this evil. So we already have 2 benefactors. Doug and Stacey, I believe, are one. Is that right? And then we have another that are willing to match dollar for dollar up to $1,000 on every T-shirt we sell. And this is what the T-shirt looks like.
Here's the shirt. Everything's reversed in this camera. There we go. Troll roll call. JDL Mac, Tatum
Worm,
E,
Dog,
Tony Mitchell,
Worm,
Rebecca W, Mike WV, and WMD.
Trolls. Billy Goat Gruff trolls. Anyway, that's exactly what we're doing. 100% of the proceeds go to Vets for Child Rescue. If you can, tell everybody you know. And also, like I said, if you don't want a shirt, you just want to donate to them, please do. Just go to Vets for Child Rescue and make a donation to them. Like I said, the shirts, we raised the price. I don't know how much, another $5, so more of it goes that way.
Right. So there's a bigger, I mean, it's a charity shirt, so it's priced as a charity shirt. I think it's $29.99.
Yeah.
For the shirt.
Yeah. So every single dime goes to them.
Hey, John Willis is there.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
check out my man John over there. Hello, hello. So that's exactly what we're doing, y'all. So we are going to do every single thing we can to raise as much money as we can for Vets for Child Rescue. How cool is that, y'all? We got 2 benefactors willing to match dollar for dollar, whatever money we raise on selling these shirts for this campaign. Every single dime, not 80%, not 98%, not 99%, 100% of every dime we raise will go to Veterans for Child Rescue. That's exactly what we're going to do here.
Also, the Swale class is linked in the description of this video. The description is different than the live chat for anybody who wasn't aware of that. So if you click out of the live chat, click down on the down arrow, that is the description, and that will give you the link to the Swale class, Vets for Child Rescue, and also the bonfire shirt link.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? I want to throw this out there too. You know, a lot of times we receive not because we ask not. Hey, if there's any other benefactors out there and that you want to donate, we ask as many as possible. If you want to be recognized for that, we will do so. But we want to give a tremendous thanks for those who have so far. So before we get off of here, I want to just open it up. We'll have like something of an altar call. If there's anybody out there that wants to match dollar for dollar up to $1,000, any money that comes in, we would definitely welcome you. And like I said, 100%, we're not keeping back a dime. 100% that everything that goes to in this campaign will go to Veterans for Child Rescue.
You can let us know privately if you would like to, or you can leave it in the live stream is about to end here soon, so don't leave it in the live chat if you want to do that. But you can contact us through email, through the website, through
Yeah, so if you do that, yeah, so we'll go ahead and announce, I guess the campaign ends at what, 5 o'clock?
Yep, the campaign ends at 5 o'clock on Monday. We'll do some reminder posts just in case anybody forgets. But yeah, campaign ends 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern on Monday.
Yeah, so we'll get that done. Hey, y'all, thank you so much. Look, if you're Friday night watching us in a live stream, you might be a homesteader. So thanks so much, y'all, for checking us out. Thanks so much for tuning in. And thank you for your words of encouragement. And all of you trolls out there,
keep commenting. Keep commenting, actually, please, because you're boosting the algorithm and boosting the growth.
Thank you so much. All right, y'all. I guess it's out, y'all. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.